Welcome to Newsline Report. I'm Bryan Valencia. Let's get into this week's headlines. In a story of hope, a 104-year-old World War II vet overcame coronavirus just in time for his birthday. He then promptly died after trying to blow out all 104 candles. In sports news, after being traded to Tampa Bay, Tom Brady recruited his former Patriots teammate Gronkowski to play with him for the Buccaneers. And listen, I couldn't care less about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and from what I can tell, neither does Florida. But it excites me to know that even multi-millionaire football players with championship rings are just like every other American, moving to Florida to retire at their old age. In Toledo, a bagpiper played his instrument at dusk as a way of honoring those who have lost their lives during the pandemic. Just when we thought coronavirus couldn't get any worse, now there are bagpipes. That's an instrument that sounds like a drunk sorority girl with depression. I mean, there are so many other things he could have done to honor people. Just off the top of my head, he could have made a cake, or cross-stitched a pillow, or not played a bagpipe. Those are just some common suggestions, just to be a good person. The Australian High Court last week dismissed sexual abuse charges of Pope Francis's former finance minister, George Pell. He was said to have abused two boys in the 90s, one of which he painfully squeezed his genitals after Mass. I guess if you're asking me, that just seems like more of a before Mass activity, that it helps you hit the higher octave harmonies. And I mean, I get stressed at work and I use a stress ball, but nothing like that. I might be doing this wrong. As we now come to the end of April, there's a huge push to figure out the 2020 census. And I might be a bit of a cynic, but do we really think this is a good idea? The census? I mean, experts predict that at least 100,000 people will pass away from COVID-19 over the course of the pandemic. It just seems like someone in the Census Department is going to be doing a lot of unnecessary paperwork. I mean, at least 100,000 pages. Reports claim that many colleges and universities have begun to suffer financially during the pandemic. And to that, I say, how do you like it? I've been struggling to pay off my student loans for years now. Oh, how the tables have turned. Hold up, wait, what was that? College, university? Maybe you should take out a loan. I hope Sally Mae holds your head under the waters of the deep end of debt, you overpriced ultimate frisbee farm. Really, it is a tragedy. Kids at a Salt Lake City Baptist church were hospitalized after accidentally ingesting THC candy that was given to the church as a donation. A donation! What kind of church is this? Are all the worship songs done in the style of Bob Marley? I mean, someone messed up here. I think there's gotta be a guy somewhere in the world sitting in his mother's basement after eating regular gummy worms, just slowly coming to terms with the fact that he still doesn't have a job. Experts predict that the early months of 2021 will see a record number of childbirths due to the stay-at-home orders. I don't have a joke for this yet, but I still think it's a bad idea to start the census right now. We've got a fleet of COVID infants on the way. I mean, babies will be the new swag of 2021. It's the new Gucci, man. I've always been unstylish, but I feel like this proves it. What will I have after this? I won't have a kid. I'll just have a season of a television show that I put online for you to watch. Prime Minister Boris Johnson is finally recovering after his fight with COVID-19, after spending some time in the intensive care unit. And if that last baby bit proves anything, it's that this pandemic has taught us all how to handle a Johnson with care. I know it's hard, but the world really can come together and rise to the occasion. Many political leaders have taken a great deal of time to instruct the public on best practices during this pandemic. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made a speech stating that masks prevent people from speaking moistly. Yes, speaking moistly. That's a real phrase that was said by a government official. I'm glad he claimed the phrase though, because I swear I would have hated that to be an album title for ASMR Kelly. Even Queen Elizabeth gave a rare public address about coronavirus, urging the people of the world to focus on unity. Even more surprising was the fact that she did the address on TikTok. Slay, Queen! I've always wanted to say that in an official sentence. Talking about monarchy. I love it. Thanks for watching Newsline Report. I'm Bryan Valencia, and for our entire crew of just me, have a wonderful night.